Yes, I can hear you now. What's up, Juddy?
How's it going?
Good, dude. How was your day?
It was pretty it was good, really it was really good. I didn't have school, so it's like, you know, life's good. Life is good.
Did you get some work in?
Yeah, I had box practice earlier.
Nice. How long have you been playing box lacrosse?
I think like 4 or 5 years now.
Okay, cool. This is my dog Winnie.
Oh, my dog is outside. I always kick him out when I
Dude, do you
start.
do you surf?
Yeah, I surf.
Where do you surf? Virginia Beach?
No, so that's where my brother does like tournaments and stuff.
Okay.
Um, I surf like when we go like out of the country. So like I surf in like Costa Rica and Mexico and stuff like
That's
that.
sick. Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it's cool. And like when we go to North Carolina, sometimes I go there too. It's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've been to the Outer Banks. I've surfed in Waves, North Carolina, which is sick.
yeah. Outer Banks
How's
is
my
good too.
lighting?
It's good. I like the lighting.
Okay,
I
good.
can
All
see
right. Well,
good.
I'm ready to get started.
Me too. Also, I like the helmet in the back. I saw your
Oh, thanks,
Instagram.
bro.
It was like
Yeah.
the Pat Spencer thing. That was sweet.
I got this on Facebook Marketplace. I didn't My Cascade S is in storage, otherwise I would have used mine. But this was like $35 on Facebook.
Wow,
I'm going to Africa December 26th, so I'm just gonna bring it with me and I'm gonna donate it.
that's awesome. Well, I'll do the introduction and I'm
Here, hold on.
pumped.
Let me put these dogs up because they just came out of nowhere and they're gonna be
Okay,
awful the entire time. So let me
sounds
just
sounds good.
all right, I'm good to go.
All right,
Let's see this intro.
all right. I'm pumped.
All
Um,
right.
Today we're joined by Rett Canon, Texas lacrosse player, coach, broadcaster, and founder of Canon Lax. From Highland Park to LMU to Reinhardt to coaching and creating content in the lacrosse world, Rhett has become one of the most influential voices in Texas lacrosse. Thank you so much for Rhett Lacrosse getting on. Really appreciate it. I'm super pumped to have you, and let's get into it. To start, can you tell us, for people who don't know yet, how you would describe your lacrosse journey?
Yeah, my lacrosse journey has been one with tons of ups and downs. Overall, it's been a blessing to get to play the sport that I love so much for such a long time. I was playing baseball as a kid, and my parents and my sisters thought it was super boring and didn't like coming to my games. So one day, my sister told me, she was like, baseball's not cool. All the cool guys in my grade are playing lacrosse. You've got to try it out. So I was in second grade, and my parents got me a stick, and I got to start playing, and I never looked back. Started playing with a CLH2 helmet. I had like third bar syndrome, and
Yeah,
I had little red Puma cleats. I wish I could
yeah,
pop up a picture for you. And I fell in love, and I've played ever since. So I started playing attack and midi as a kid, played all the way through, and then um, I didn't have the greatest offers. I only had Division 2 and Division 3 offers for very small schools across the country, and my mom's a serious Catholic, so she wanted me to go to a Jesuit institution. So I ended up playing club at Loyola Marymount University.
yeah,
Great decision. I loved it. Played club in California, and then I had 2 years of eligibility left because of COVID. So I made a little highlight reel and I sent it out to
yeah.
some NAIA schools, and I got lucky enough to get paired up with the guys over at Reinhardt. So yeah, did one season there, got a master's, and I'll be doing my second season Reinhardt, closing out the eligibility
Yeah.
and getting my last master's. So that'll start this spring. But yeah, MCLA, NAIA, and a lot of men's league in between.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds like yeah, it's definitely an up and down journey, but I feel like you said, I feel like most kids start lacrosse from baseball. I don't know how it's connected, but like everyone says it's so boring and then all of a sudden they switch because like lacrosse is just like another sport just based on speed and like athleticism. It's crazy.
Yeah, traditionally, what I've seen in America, especially in Texas, it's football's first,
Yeah.
baseball's like a close second, and then basketball's always played in the winter. If you think about a guy, obviously a fantastic athlete, Patrick Mahomes, he played
Yeah.
at White House in Texas. His basketball tape is impressive, and he was also a great baseball player. That's kind of like the three sport athlete ideal in the state of Texas. I think what has happened, especially in Highland Park, is Highland Park has always had great lacrosse players. It's just that they have a pretty good relationship with the football coach and always
Right.
have. So it's not like you're crossing wires there. Some of the best football players on Highland Park's team are great lacrosse players as well. And another thing is, I think because lacrosse is also a spring sport, just like baseball, it's like that's why you'll see, one or the other.
Right. That's one of the things like that's why I had to stop baseballs because it's in the same season and like in Texas, like you said, there's three main sports. So
Mhm.
it's definitely hard to, choose, especially with lacrosse being a lot smaller than the other sports. So
How
it's
long have
that
you played?
for lacrosse.
Mhm.
I started, I think, in third grade, so it's 5 years now, I think. About
Awesome.
five
And
years.
obviously, it's your favorite.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you play
It's my,
football?
yeah, I play football too.
Nice. That was looking back on it now, I think football was always my second favorite sport. But because I can't just go out and play football,
Right.
I've really grown to love basketball. Really
Yeah,
grown to love basketball.
basketball and lacrosse are similar. It's similar, but I think basketball's harder because like scoring in a lacrosse is like I feel like so much easier than shooting and making a basketball because it's so much smaller.
And the goaltending's not allowed, and there's no one,
Right.
trying in that way to block it. But this from playing box lacrosse, the cage looks a little bigger on
Yeah.
that field.
Yeah, it does.
A good
Um,
box lacrosse goalie makes you feel like you can't score anything.
right, because the goal is like so small, and then
Yeah.
having a good goalie, it's like it's just hard.
Hmm.
Um, what was your relationship with Nakai Montgomery?
Oh, cool. Yeah. Nakai is from Dallas. He is in my class. So we both graduated high school in 2017. He went to the Episcopal School of Dallas. I grew up, playing around him. He's a friend of mine. I was actually with him recently. We were both volunteering for Bridge Lacrosse, which is a team here in the Dallas area that caters to students and athletes that may not otherwise have the opportunity to play the sport, and they do just a fantastic job of growing the game and making it more accessible to all athletes. And Nakai is kind of a pioneer for that sort of thing. He is a great representation of Texas as well as the sport of lacrosse. He's a freak athlete and such a good lacrosse player. He actually just released this app on the Apple Watch called Rep Tracker, and basically imagine you have an app in your Apple Watch and you're hitting the wall, and every single time you get a rep, it tracks it for you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool product. I want to use it here pretty soon, but he's been promoting that, so I'm looking forward to see what he does.
That's awesome. So I know that you grew up in Highland Park. What was Texas like back then compared to now?
Honestly, I would say that Highland Park lacrosse has always been, a top three program in the state, if not the number one contender for the state title. There are years where Jesuit is that they look unbeatable, and ESD is incredibly talented too. But Highland Park has probably been the perennial powerhouse for the state of Texas ever since I was, born. They started in the 90s and they continue to just pump out incredibly talented players. I would say that when I was a kid, it was a big deal. It's never been as big of a deal as the football team, but it depends on like when I'm in the realm of lacrosse, it feels like this is all anybody cares about because that's my life and I surround myself with that.
Right.
But I still think football for sure takes the cake. But from what I see now, it's kind of the same, except I think people are specializing in lacrosse more. Like, oh, my son is a lacrosse player, my daughter is a lacrosse player. We go and train at the lacrosse barn. We play for these club teams, these national teams, and this is our entire year schedule. And that specialization tends to happen in probably sixth, seventh, or eighth grade. And I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of it because I'm a firm believer as a coach that you should be a three-sport athlete, at a
Yeah.
minimum a two-sport athlete, because I think it makes you better. But I would say that the kids are probably getting more talented
Yeah.
because of it. There are kids that I see on my Instagram from Texas doing things that I wouldn't even think of or fathom when I was in fourth grade, for sure.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So in a way, it's getting really better at the top, but I would say as a whole, Texas lacrosse is a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely growing, that's for sure. And that's just like
Mhm.
Richmond lacrosse. I think Mitchell Pelkey doing that video on Richmond, I think that definitely is like a big stepping stone because they've lost to Cornell, but just barely in both the games last year or this year. And I think they're just going to continue to grow, especially like because Richmond isn't known for having, like great lacrosse. So I think we're definitely putting our name on the map. Is what you could say.
Yeah, it's a good school.
Yeah,
It's hard to get into. It has great academics and it's very nice. Like I've been to
yeah,
that campus and it's beautiful. So yeah, shout out the Spiders.
yeah,
They are good. They have
yeah,
really, really good lacrosse players. And this year I think that they're coming for it. They were
yeah,
so close last year to
yeah.
cracking a Final Four somehow.
They're bringing the fire. Especially
They're
it's in I think it's at UVA this year, or it's
yeah,
in
it's in
yeah
Charlottesville.
Charlottesville. Yeah,
I
that's
got to
right.
figure out a way to go to that.
Oh yeah, I'm actually playing somewhere like right there in Charlottesville, and we got like great tickets to the game somehow.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You're gonna have
And then
fun.
I went last year because I was playing in a I was on nationals and we had a tournament last year and it was so fun. We
What
I
club
get
team do you play for again?
I play on 91 Virginia,
Oh,
um,
cool,
and
cool,
then I play in 91 South.
cool,
And then the past year I played 91 National, and it was fun.
cool.
Um, what was your favorite game, or what was or has been your favorite game you've ever played in college, and why does it still stick with you?
My freshman year playing club at Loyola Marymount, we were losing. It's a Division II club team. We were losing to UCLA by I believe 4 or 5 goals at halftime, and we ended up coming back in that second half very slowly but surely, and we won that game. I want to say 13-11. We
Wow,
scored the last 3 goals in probably 2 minutes, and I scored the game tying goal. And
wow,
that was a game we had no business winning. We thought we were going to get blown out in the second half, and we like 19 guys rallied together. We didn't even have matching uniforms.
that's awesome.
People wearing different colored helmets, and that was a good win. So I
Yeah,
loved that one. And then another game I loved was probably my game versus Weber in the quarterfinals of the NAI tournament. I went 2 for 2 shooting, and it just felt good. I didn't get to play a ton that season, but I got to end it on a high note. We ended up losing in overtime, but I'll get to play them again this year. So we'll
yeah.
see what happens again.
You can bring back the fire. That's
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
exactly.
just this time get the dub.
Yeah, I've played in a lot of good games. Maybe Cal State San Marcos in the playoffs my sophomore year. I had a good game then. But yeah, I feel really lucky to have great memories from playing and the opportunity to do it one more time.
Yeah, that's awesome, and you should bring the fire this year. It's gonna be awesome. Um, who is a mentor or teammate that has changed how you play?
Brady Hannock would be a really good example of a teammate that changed kind of the way I play. Ethan Lux as well, two Reinhardt guys. I feel like at Loyola Marymount, I had a green light to kind of do what I wanted to do rather than work a set offense because I would find success at that level. But when I got to Reinhardt, it didn't translate because, frankly, the players were better. So when I talked to them about my game, I'm a pretty good dodger. I've got a decent shot. So I would really put on the blinders and feel like I need to make a play. Instead, I need to understand that and I've really learned this from coaching. It's a team sport. We all know that.
Yeah,
It is so much better to move the ball through X than to turn it over.
yeah,
So just slow it down and let the game come to you is the advice I have for myself and the advice that's been given to me.
that's awesome. Um, I haven't talked to anyone from Texas. What's the biggest misconception people have about Texas lacrosse?
I think people are under the impression that Texas guys just want to lay you out.
Yeah.
I think when I'm at other tournaments and hear that, they're like, oh, they're a bunch of football players. They're going to come for your head.
Yeah.
That's not the case. I think lacrosse across the board is a contact sport, and no matter where you are in the country, if you don't have your head on a swivel, somebody's going to lay you out. Um, Maybe we don't have as much finesse as guys from the DMV or Long Island, but I think that's the biggest misconception. If you watch Highland Park lacrosse play Culver, for example, these kids are good. They can play most places in the country at the top level. And they're Division One lacrosse players across the Highland Park team, the Jesuit teams, and the ESD teams. Whether we're talking, varsity or JV, these kids eventually get to that level. And some of them play at Duke, some of them play at Wagner or Quinnipiac or Mercyhurst, and they're all really good. So I think that's the biggest misconception is that Texas guys just want to
Yeah.
be physical and take your head off.
That's definitely like I've heard that too, like at tournaments and stuff. Like True Dallas, I think, is a team, and like everyone gets scared of them. I don't know why, but it's so yeah, that's right. If you could give one message to every young Texas player trying to get recruited right now, what would that advice be?
Hit the wall. Hit the wall every single day at minimum 4 to 5 times a week. Try to get 100 reps with your left hand and 100 reps with your right hand. Go backhand, go BTB, go Canadian.
Yeah,
You cannot get worse from playing wall ball. I truly believe that. Sure, there are some habits that you might need to break as far as your wall ball goes, maybe where you're holding the stick or the way you're catching it. But I would say a lot of people that are way better at lacrosse than me and know a lot more about the sport would agree with that. Play wall ball every single day, take 100 shots a day, and that'll change everything for you.
yeah. I think most people that I've had on have said like the same thing, like hit the
Mhm.
wall. It's like because I'm starting to like understand like that's like a key part, especially like people like you and that have gone to college and are still in college. Like it's important to do that because coaches can see that, and it's a big difference.
Yeah, I always tell my players, you can't do anything with the ball if you don't catch the ball. So that is the number one thing. And in return, we want to be throwing good passes to our teammates so
Yeah,
they can also catch the ball. But I do a lot of drills. Let's say we're setting up a split tool rollback to a down the alley, shot. If you drop the pass before your split dodge, we can't split dodge. So
right.
the catch is pretty much the most important thing in the sport of lacrosse.
Yeah, that's
And
like
if you look at guys at the top level, they're not thinking about that because they don't drop the ball.
right.
Yeah.
And they're thinking about catch the ball first and then go, which is
Yeah.
because
It
that's like
becomes second nature,
yeah,
I think.
it's an instinct, which is
Yeah.
that's important. Um, how has the Texas lacrosse scene evolved since you were a kid?
I mean, I think it's grown for sure. I'd like for more public schools to get involved so that maybe one day we could be a state sanctioned sport. We want to be in the UIL. But, there are more kids being introduced to it year after year. I just think we need to work on the retention. So let's say you get a kid who starts playing lacrosse in fourth grade. He plays for 3 seasons and says, "This is dumb. I'm over it. I don't want to
Yeah,
do this anymore." I think maybe the problem is we're selling the dream of potentially getting a scholarship at any level and making it these kids' identities that they're lacrosse players. When in reality, if we just focused on lacrosse being fun, which it is, then maybe we'd have more success with retention and kids wanting to continue to play because lacrosse is fun. You know, there were years in my life where I struggled because I was small or because I wasn't quick before I hit puberty. And I never even once thought about quitting lacrosse because I was getting dogged at practice. I wanted to keep playing because all my friends were on the team and I loved our away bus trips. So that's the biggest thing. If we can instill in these kids that lacrosse is super fun and a way for you to hang out with your friends, then maybe we'll have a better retention rate. But that's kind of what I try to preach. I want my
Yeah,
kids to have fun so they'll keep coming back and playing next year because I'll never know how good you're going to be in 5 years if you quit in one.
right. So what you're kind of saying is like we need to get more people into lacrosse, especially like friends, because then that team grows and it becomes more fluent. And like even as like a club player like me, a lot of teams that we play that are really good, like top in the country, they've been together since they were like in fourth grade, and you can see that because they're like they don't drop passes. They like everything is on a dime, and they like smoking shots. It's like it's cool to watch. Like being on the attacks, I'm like, wow, there that's
Yeah, there are parents that ask me in this town. They're like, "Which club team should my son play for? Which national team should he play for? Oh, they suck, they suck." And I'm like, "Well, like let's take a random brand for example. Let's say you mentioned True earlier. If one True team out of Chicago, or I don't know if they have one out there, is bad, that doesn't mean the grade 2 years below them or 2 years older than them isn't insane.
right,
Like there's probably some team from Ohio in your grade that's cooking everybody right now. And it's probably because all those kids have played with each other for the last 3 seasons. They've kept the entire roster. They run the plays that they've been taught, and they're a team. I think of some games that I've played against people that may not have been as big or as athletic, but you don't need that in the sport of lacrosse. Sure, it helps to have a 6'4" defenseman.
yeah,
Like the University of Virginia has tons of towers
yeah,
on their defense, and they've won natties like that. But you could probably win a national championship with a bunch of guys that are 5'8" if they all are just dialed.
right. And they know, and also I think it helps at the IQ of the game. But
Mhm.
if they can like dial the IQ, I think, like you said, nothing will stop them.
Yeah, it's a strategic sport for sure. I'm sure you've seen it. There are kids that are overweight that have unbelievable hands and can't dodge to save their life, but score 4 goals a game.
Right,
There
just
are
because.
kids, yeah. There's kids that are incredibly small but very shifty and can rip it. And then it helps if you're built like Doc's Aitken, you know, and you move like a football player and you're 6'3" and can rip it with both hands. Yeah, that helps. I completely agree. But lacrosse is one of those sports where every shape and size can go in there and find success if they have good stick skills or high lax IQ.
Right. I got one example of a little guy that has gone all the way. Michael Sowers, baby.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I love him.
He he's like one of the smallest guys in the PLL, and he is insane. I think he is the GOAT of lacrosse. It's insane. He's so
Yeah,
good.
he's got both hands. He's got incredible handles.
Yep.
He dodges with his head up. He's super fast. He's probably a lot stronger than people give him credit
Yeah,
for.
I know. And
Yeah, he's really fun to watch, and he's found a lot of success.
yeah, and another person that's growing, he's insane. Brendan O'Neill. He's huge.
Brendan
Um,
O'Neill is one of those other sides of the spectrum. He's
yeah.
just, I mean, he's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Not only is he super fast, but he's obviously just a
Huge.
giant dude.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got to
his
go.
shot's so cool.
Oh, yeah, I got to go to his camp, and we were doing like drills, and he like helped me with my shot and stuff. It was so cool because I was like,
That's a cool
yeah,
experience.
it was awesome. And then we got to see him rip it, and it's just like nothing you've ever seen in person. It's just like,
He,
wow.
he seems like a really nice guy. I
Yeah.
used to watch. I remember when I first found out about him. I was watching his Midnight Madness highlights, and he has this highlight where he catches it on the left wing and does an underhand load a high toe drag
Yeah.
shot, and then gets in front of the cage and whips it lefty behind the back.
Oh, I've
He's special, dude.
yeah, he's special. Yeah. So those are just two
Did the
examples that
did they win the PLL championship or did they lose in the
no.
championship game?
They no, so actually it was that Atlas. Oh yeah, they lost to Atlas.
Okay.
The
In the
Atlas team
same
was
game that Xander got hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Xander Dixon's is good. Everyone calls
He's
him
good.
like, yeah, he's good. He's one of those people that like gets all the finishes on the crease. I feel like he's not like a dodger or like not even like an outside shooter. I think he's like a person like made to move on the crease.
Yeah, I think Xander can definitely dodge and shoot, but
Yeah.
yes, he finds the majority of his success on the crease, and I think it's just because he has,
Two other
figured out
amazing
how
tagsmen.
to move off ball better than pretty much everybody.
Right.
He sees things before they happen, and he's able to fill space, and having unbelievable handles like he does really helps. He's a great finisher.
Yeah, and then
He's fun to watch.
he also gets to play on the Atlas with his bro Connor Schellenberger. So it's like
Who's
they
also
yeah,
so.
it's
I,
insane.
I have I have friends that played at UNC, and they say that playing against Connor Schellenberg, they say he's the best player they've ever played against.
Yeah, well, he's like the most fundamental player you'll ever see. Like at his
Yeah,
camp.
very rarely will you see like a BTB or a shovel shot. He is just
Yeah,
smart with the ball, and he
I
rips it.
yeah yeah he's awesome. I
Great dodger.
and he's a great guy too. Like going to his
Cool.
camp and stuff. Like actually one of the kid on one of my brothers. Wait, hold on. A kid on my brother's club team. His cousin is Connor Schellenberger.
Oh, that's sick.
It's
I
awesome.
see.
So
I see some of Schellenberger's stuff on Instagram. He's a great coach.
yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah,
I also got to go to his camp because it was in Richmond and it was super fun, because we were rocking fundamentals and it was awesome.
nice.
Moving on. That was awesome. Just love talking about that. So cool.
Yeah, I
Um,
love Lax.
yeah, I heart Lex. I heard people say you have no left-handed shot. Is that true?
Who told you that?
I don't know.
I do have a lefty. I can score a lefty for sure. It's just not very fast. We're working on it.
Yeah.
If when how about this? When I score lefty this year at Reinhardt, if there's a clip of it, I'll send it to you. Okay.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I'm,
I
I'm
love that.
definitely a righty, but I can score with my left.
And if I score with my right, I'll send you a clip of the right.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw on your story, I think one of your buddies fed you from GLE and you just went low to low
Oh,
lefty for about
yeah.
12. Great
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
like you. I need to
That's
take notes.
that's Logie. That's Logan Lax 2031. That's my
Shout
boy.
out Logan.
Yeah, shout out Logan. He just
Nice
dodges.
speed, kid.
Yeah, he's so good. He's a 2032 and he's he's just another kind cuz like he's he dodges, he shoots, he does everything. It's amazing. I love him having him on the attack. It's kind of sad cuz I don't get to play box with him, but I'm sure he's like cooking up in the 2032 bracket. So,
Well, shout out Logan.
yeah, it's awesome. And then my boy Liam too. Can't forget Liam.
The
He's
whole attack line.
yeah, the whole attack line. They're
Let's
they're
go.
my they're my best bros. Um, what did you learn from your playing years that helped you grow as a coach?
I mean, I think the biggest things that I take away from my playing years wouldn't be things that I learned on the field. It would be things that I learned in the locker room and on the bus and in my coach's office about having a good attitude and being a good teammate. You're going to be on a team with maybe 30 minimum to 55 guys in college. Some D2 schools have even more.
Wow.
It would be hard to say that you're going to fall in love or be really best bros with every single one of those guys. That's just not how the world works. It's important that you still are kind and are respectful of all of your teammates, because at the end of the day, you guys have a set goal, and that is to win as many games as possible and to try to walk away with a title, whether that's a conference title or whether you're playing for the Natty. It doesn't really matter. You are called as a lacrosse player and as a teammate to be respectful and have a good attitude and work your ass off at all times. So that's probably what I've learned, because there are people that can bring down a team with just their words and just their lack of work ethic. So always be respectful of your coaches and your fellow teammates, and you need to be accountable. So let's say the whole team is running sprints. You shouldn't be the last guy, and you
Yeah.
shouldn't want to be the last guy. If you guys
Yeah.
are doing a wall ball test and the whole team fails, if one person fails, you can't be that guy. So always work hard, always be kind and respectful to your teammates and especially your coaches, and just work hard. And if you do all of those things, it will translate into success, and it will translate into fond memories. So that's my advice.
That's awesome. That was 100% a quote. I am quoting that. That's awesome. That was great
Uh,
advice. Um, what's the biggest difference between coaching youth players and high school athletes?
High school players tend to cry a lot less. I'll say
Oh,
that
yeah.
there's a lot of emotions in second grade, in third grade, and even fourth grade. And I remember it. I was the same way. Sometimes you get lit up on the crease and
Yep.
you feel like crying, so you do. Or maybe you miss a big shot and you can't see the next play because that moment was so important to you. But I would say, aside from the emotions, I would say, I love to see the high schoolers' personalities because they're becoming men. They're very opinionated. They have ideas in their head about what the offensive philosophy should be or what the defensive scheme should be. And I love having input from other players thinking, well, coach, what if we did this? And then they draw it up on the whiteboard. So I love seeing the IQ develop and the preferences in their game develop as well. And then from freshman to senior year, there is just such a big jump in skill for a lot of these guys. So I think that is so cool to see. I think I prefer youth lacrosse because I deem myself to be very patient and good at teaching the basic fundamentals. But I have more fun on the sidelines of high school games for sure
Yeah.
because it's a
Well,
level of lacrosse I can much more so resonate with because it's one that I'm playing.
right. And
It's not on a hectare.
yeah.
There's rides and clears and there's a face off battle. It's a whole game. There's 4 games within the game.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot different. Just the
Yeah,
two,
and
it's
then with my second graders, there might be some kids that just take over the game and they don't pass the ball and they just put the ball in the net. So we're working on everything, but yeah, there's a huge difference
yeah.
between my high schoolers and my little guys. But either way, it's still the sport of lacrosse, and I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that you love coaching, and that's
Mhm.
something I think I'm gonna try and do is, like get into the coaching world because, I just want to pursue the game and it's awesome.
Well, you're
Um,
doing a great job right now with
thank
the
you.
Lax locker room.
Thank you. I love talking with people. It's really cool, and I'm starting to get more and more followers, and having like people like more influencers like you. I had only Navarro Blakes
Yeah, I played
on.
with him this summer. He's the man.
Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, I'm just trying to grow, and I love having people like you on, especially with people with energy and that talk a lot. Because I'm a talker. I'm a big talker.
Yeah, you have it in your Instagram bio. You
Yeah.
said you might
Oh,
like talking more,
yeah.
but hey, you've met your match. I'll
Yep.
talk about lacrosse all day long.
Thank you. That's awesome. Which age group gives you the wildest pregame speeches?
Middle schoolers. I think, and I remember myself being like this, middle schoolers have a filter but choose not to use it. So they'll basically go out there and say whatever they want, whether it's
Yeah.
inappropriate or whether it's cussing or whether it's just honestly like an insane quote. So I would say the sixth, seventh, and eighth graders have the funniest pregame speeches.
Yeah. That's
At the college level, they get more intense and gritty. Like we're going balls to the wall. In middle school, they're like that, but almost with a level of
humor.
joke, with like humor
Right.
and joking and sarcasm because they like don't care that much.
Right. That's just because they want it to be fun, right?
Yes, and I love that, and I feel like that's perfect. The youth kids, they don't really do mini pregame speeches. You know
Yeah.
what? I should when I get back from Reinhardt because we have some tournaments in May. I might just let them do some pregame speeches, and maybe I'll wear the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and we'll get some
Yes.
of what
Yes.
the boys have to say.
Yeah. That's awesome. You should do like a hot seat where you pick a player each game and they have to do a pregame speech or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that is good for like personal development as well. I
Right.
remember one time my junior year we were playing UCLA again, and the coach asked me to give a halftime speech, and I like had a brain fart and I didn't
Yeah.
know what to say.
Well, it's
And
because like You got to be like frozen. Like I wouldn't know what to say. You're put on the spotlight. It's like it's got to be good because it's like halftime. Were you losing?
Yeah, we were losing,
Oh,
and
so then the pressure's on.
yeah,
Like
it was embarrassing actually, looking back on it now. But there have been times since then where I've given great motivational speeches. But yeah, they got to come from the heart. So maybe I'll get one from one of the rising third graders
yeah, let's
here
go.
soon.
Um, do you ever get nervous calling games, or does it feel like natural to you?
The first game I ever called, I definitely got nervous. That was Kansas versus Baylor because I was stepping into something I didn't know. But about 10 minutes into it, I was like, I mean, I've been watching lacrosse my whole life. Now I just get
Yeah,
to, talk about it. So it was fun. And then the first time I did a University of Texas game, because I knew I could see how many people were watching, and there were like hundreds watching the live stream. So I got kind of nervous then, but then I just started focusing on the game and doing my job. One thing I love about being a sports broadcaster, especially at that level, is because these kids aren't used to getting that notoriety in the MCLA, or whether it's, Texas high school playoffs lacrosse, as opposed to like Brennan O'Neill when he played at Duke. So if I can give a kid like a memorable clip and I'm in the background like, and Sanchez goes down the alley
yeah,
and rips it top right. I feel really proud of that because they can screen record that on their phone, and then later on they'll be able to show it to their kids one day, or their
yeah. It's like
friends or their moms and stuff like that. So I don't get nervous anymore, but there were some times that I did. But it is so much fun. I bet you'd be really good at it.
yeah, broadcasting sounds like it sounds pretty fun. Where
Yeah,
how often do you do that?
I did some football games this fall, and then I did tons of lacrosse games last spring. But that was the first time I'd ever done it.
Wow.
So obviously, I'm playing this spring, so I won't have time to. Maybe I can get involved with Reinhardt and call some of the girls' games or something
Yeah,
like that. So that
that
would
sounds good.
I should look into that.
Um, what's the funniest or most chaotic moment you've had on air?
There was one time where, and I'd have to find the clip for you, where my play-by-play guy Matthew Bryce, we were just getting our Chick-fil-A delivered to us by some other guy who works with us, and I started drinking this drink, and on the air Matthew goes, "And Rhett, you better get your hands off of my Diet Coke." And then the kids scored immediately, and he had to like transition
Oh
into
my
it,
gosh,
and it was actually really smooth but really funny.
that is
And
so funny.
we got a text from somebody who was watching the game. They're like, "I just died. That was so funny."
Yeah, that's hilarious. Was it embarrassing or was like were you like,
No,
oh no?
it's not embarrassing because like we're not on like national television or anything,
Right.
and then also it's so lighthearted that like most people watching that would think that's funny. Like, wait a second, what's going on in the
Yeah,
booth?
that's awesome. Yeah, I would be like, what are they doing? What are they talking about? Like, come on,
Mm.
dude. Um, how do you think media and reels help grow the sport in non-traditional areas like Texas?
Okay, for example, Launch Lacrosse just recently came down to Texas to put on a tournament called the Lone Star Cup. Launch Lacrosse has an Instagram, and they were actively posting highlights during the tournament, which I thought was so cool. And they were figuring out these kids' Instagrams and tagging them and like
Wow.
collaborating with their clubs. And I thought, oh wow, that's such a great idea. All these kids' friends are going to see it like almost live time. And I've heard stories where people are like, oh, I keep seeing so and so's clips. I'm coming out for the team this spring. So I think, the social media aspect of the game of lacrosse is awesome because if you look at George Caldroni, for example, on
Yeah.
those ISE highlights from this past weekend, if I was a sixth grade athlete about to play baseball and I saw that kid score the goals that he does, I would be like, oh my gosh, I want to try this. Like
Yeah.
that looks so fun.
Were you talking about that one where he does like the swim dodge and then comes back and that defender starts hammering him and then he comes back and then he passes it and the guy scores?
Maybe, but I'm thinking about the one where he jumps around the goal and like dunks it.
Oh,
over the
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then he was playing, I think, Roswell, which is a really good team out of Georgia, and he like fakes BTB and then goes like bouncer low to high.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
kid's insane.
He's so good. It's
Yeah.
crazy how he's like I don't know how old he is, but he's a young high schooler.
Yeah, I think he's a I don't he might be a freshman.
In high school? There's
He
no
he
way.
let me look it up. Let me look it up.
I don't know. Because he's already committed to Princeton.
So if wait, maybe he's not.
I think he might be a
If
senior.
if he's 2031, what grade is he in? If he graduates from Princeton in 31, would that make him I'm so bad at math. Yeah, he's definitely not a freshman. You're right.
He's either a junior, because you can't commit until his junior year.
Is that right?
Yeah, you can't commit till September 1st of your junior year.
In I had eighth graders on my team committing to UNC.
Wow. Actually,
Yeah, Parker Alexander and Jack Kosmetsky both committed the
in eighth
summer
grade?
before their ninth grade year, and so did my friend Era, all to UNC.
Wow. That is
Yes,
that's crazy. There's
it was a different. Well, Brennan O'Neill, I think, was committed to. God, where was he committed to? Was it Georgetown? Somebody's gonna. That's wrong, but Brennan O'Neill was committed somewhere before Duke. Penn State. He was committed to Penn State.
yeah, that's
Might have
right.
been. It might have been in eighth grade.
Wow, that's great. Well, I mean, Brendan O'Neill, that's like you said, he's a freak athlete. So,
Yeah.
um, so I know that you created Canon Lax. When did you realize you wanted to turn your platform into a full blown brand?
I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm working on it. I made it an LLC, but I still haven't done much with that. Um, I think it's a way to just promote my sports broadcasting and my coaching because with this page, that's what I'd like to be able to do with that is
Yeah,
potentially get a job doing one of those two things, if not both. So, I was making merchandise like the hat I have,
yeah,
and
it's awesome.
it just became I'll send you one. It just became kind of hard to do all that while doing school. So when I get back from school or just before it ends, I'll really kind of dive into what I want this to be. But for now, it's, just me kind of getting out of my comfort zone a little bit, making videos online and talking about lacrosse.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'd love to get one of those hats. I
I
would
got you.
for sure. I would purchase one for sure. That's awesome.
No, it's free. I'll send it.
All right, that's awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
That hat is sweet. It's awesome. I like the Canon
Thanks.
Lax. Also, my dad, we were talking about how pumped I was to have you on. I think it was like 2 nights ago. And he was like, "What's your name?" or "What's his brand?" It was like Canon Lax. He was like, "How does he spell it?" Canon. And that's my dad's first name. We were like, "There's no way." Cause
Oh, really?
yeah, so it's small world, small world.
Yeah.
Um,
Canon, not
yeah,
not two N's in the middle, just
no, yeah.
Canon.
What's the mission behind Canon Lax?
I think it initially was a way for me to find more kids to give lessons to and make a little money. And then I was like, well, how do I grow this? I got to start making reels. And then after I played for Mitchell Palkey's Hit the Frog team, I was like, I need to keep growing. So I just started coming up with different ideas for videos, such as like the helmet videos that I make with this one here
Yeah.
and podcasts and stuff like that. So I think the overall mission was to promote my sports broadcasting that I was doing in Texas high school lacrosse as well as the MCLA, and then get me some private lessons and some coaching opportunities.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of turned into me making videos about a ton of different stuff.
Yeah. Well, that also I think helps because lacrosse is very broad. So like having a bunch of ideas for videos is really good, especially to keep me like viewers like me like interested. And you've done a great job. And an example is like Mitchell Pelkey. Like I love how he always changes up his videos. Like some days he'll do like challenges and he'll go to tournaments, and then some videos he like explores colleges, and it's really interesting. So that's one thing that as a viewer that I like to like
Yeah,
watch.
his college series are really good.
Yeah,
He did he did High Point recently. He did the Richmond
oh
one.
yeah, he
They're
did the
sick.
girls UNC.
UNC girls
Yeah,
lacrosse, God, they're good.
it was so
Those
good.
girls are so good.
Um,
I have some ideas for Reinhardt, but also I know that like I don't want to be that distracted by it because at Reinhardt we take it very seriously and like we are trying to win an NAI national championship and
yeah,
that is the only goal every single year at Reinhardt. So, I'll be making content, but I'm not going to do it in a way that it distracts myself or my teammates at all because
right.
we're on a mission. So, I'm pumped. I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna post some content of me like maybe doing like a gear bag review and stuff like that. Like maybe
Yeah.
showing off some new helmets and things like that.
Did
Um,
you like the Reinhardt gear?
yeah, it's sick. It's sick.
Yes.
We might be getting yellow helmets. We have great Nike jerseys. We do the Maverick Shift gloves, or we're gonna get like
Um,
the M6s. We have
yeah.
really nice Maverick elbow pads. The jerseys are cool.
Yeah, the overall college
I
experience,
like our
like,
stuff.
yeah, I think the overall college experience, like, my mom said it's like Christmas every day because of the amount of stuff you get, like gear wise, like, especially in the lacrosse world, like, you get so much stuff just going to college. Like, you
Yeah,
get,
we get a good amount of swag for sure. I would say we get a pretty good swag bag. But like if you're talking about like what the guys at Syracuse get, it doesn't even compare. Like
really?
you go to
It's,
Syracuse and you're like, oh, I broke my head. They're like, okay, here's two new ones. Or like
wow.
my running shoes have a hole in them. Like, okay, here's a pair. So
Yeah, that's another
at the
level.
higher levels, they get, really sick stuff.
Yeah. The only The only college that I think needs to improve is I don't like the UVA, the Warriors.
You don't like those helmets?
No, I don't like them. That's like one. It's kind of weird, but that's like one thing that's kind of like, I don't know if I want to go to UVA because of the helmets. But like, both of my parents played, were athletes at UVA, and like, so it's like tending me towards,
Hey, it's a great school, and if
yeah,
they give you a full ride, you're gonna have to
yeah,
suck it up
and
and,
it's
and wear
close.
wear
Like
a
my
fur.
parents can come see me, so it's definitely a good school to.
No, but I'm the same way. I don't
Yeah.
like the STX helmets either.
No, I think the Cascades are just
The
they
they're
they got the drip.
by far the best. I would
Yeah.
rather wear this S
Oh
than
yeah, the S is
any.
sick.
I would rather wear the S than any of those
Yeah,
helmets
the S is awesome.
or the R. My favorite helmet is the XRS Pro though. It actually is.
Yeah, I have the XRS just because I got a small head and the Pro just doesn't fit yet. But
Yeah, you have the one with
yeah,
one less crossbar.
yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, that
So
thing is sweet. I like that face mask.
thank you. Yeah, it's cool. And then got my number 8 in the Virginia logo.
Cool.
Oh, it's cool. And then like the best part is like the magnetic clips.
I don't have that one, but I
It
want it.
it's so good. It's like the only bad thing is if you like you're really like if you like really like going up into your defender, like what I'm trying to work on, they don't come off. But
Yeah,
once
I
you
hear
score, it's like, yeah, like you don't care.
you.
So,
Cool.
um, do you think we'll see a D1 program in Texas in the next decade?
Don't quote me on this, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds like SMU
That's
could get one.
awesome. That is so
And
cool.
what's cool about SMU is they're already in the ACC. They have a
Yeah,
lot of funding. It's a really nice school. I think give them 5 years and they'll be good.
yeah,
It might take a second. I could see
yep,
them, if they do get a program, they would get absolutely crushed for the first several years. But if anybody's going to get it in Texas, it's probably SMU. I used to would have said Texas,
yeah,
but it just seems like now that SMU's in the ACC, that could actually be a possibility.
yeah.
I could see
I
it happening,
totally agree.
and
Um,
they would recruit pretty well, I think.
if you could give yourself one piece of advice at the age of 13, what would it be?
Start lifting weights
Yeah, I'm
for
I'm gonna
sure.
start doing that. I think soon. I think right like as soon as we hit break, my dad's gonna get like a bunch of stuff from our garage, and it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, lifting weights, really helped me out, but I've only been doing it for probably 11 months very consistently. But before that, I was very sporadic about it. And I think I would have benefited from some regimented strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
So I would say lift weights and then hit the wall.
Yep.
Take shots with your offhand.
100%. Okay, so now we're gonna do rapid fire, which is like what I said. You
Perfect.
just shoot an answer or I shoot a question, you just give a quick answer.
All right, let's clip
All right.
this.
All right. Attack or midfield, which is more fun?
Nowadays, I'm going to say midi.
Okay. Best skill move every kid should learn ASAP.
A really good split dodge.
Most underrated Texas lacrosse player right now.
Harrison Brown. He just committed to Yale recently. That kid
Wow.
is going to be very, very good at the next level.
Wow, yeah, that's really good.
He's good.
Favorite six setup.
If I were to make one right now, I would go with the STX Surgeon 1K. Probably some Hero Mesh on an STX Fiber, or maybe like a Dragonfly.
Yeah, that's a sweet setup. Best pregame snack.
Cheez-Its.
Oh, okay. Wait, what's Cheez-Its though? Like
The
there's
toasty kind, of
the toast.
course.
Really? I like the white they're white. I don't know what they're called, but they're
The white cheddar?
yeah, the white cheddar.
Not bad. I'm
Yeah.
more of a toasty guy myself.
Okay. Who wins in a Texas first Long Island lacrosse showdown right now?
Long Island.
Okay. Way to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
hot take. Which one thing that lacrosse that needs to change? One thing in lacrosse that needs to change.
I think all one-handed wrap checks should be clean. Good
Yeah.
to go. All
As long
one-handed wrap checks, let them fly.
yeah.
No
Favorite
problem.
PLL team.
Favorite PLL team, the Redwoods.
Overhand or underhand?
Underhand.
Soft mesh or hard mesh?
Soft mesh.
And then lastly, favorite player from the Redwoods.
It's tough. He's not on the team anymore, but
Rob Pinnell?
No, Kyle
Oh.
Harrison.
Oh, Kyle Harrison. Yeah.
Yeah, when Kyle was on the Redwoods. But maybe Ryder. I
Yeah.
like Garnsey a lot.
Oh, what about Chris Kavanaugh too?
He's so good.
So good. He's like insane.
The Kavanaughs are so good.
Yeah. And then lastly, favorite karaoke song.
How to Save a Life by The Fray.
That's awesome. I think I've heard that song once just in like an Instagram thing. But that's a good song.
Good song. I like The Fray a lot.
Well, that's it all for the podcast. Thank you so much for hopping on. I had a great time. I love talking with you.
Perfect.
I'd love to get one of the hats. Those things are sweet.
I got you, bro. I'll send it in the mail.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love
Send me
it.
your address. I'll
I
send
will.
one.
That's awesome. Well, good luck at Reinhardt. I'd love to keep in touch. We could do, maybe we could do like some collab merch or something like that. But it'd be cool to keep in touch. And thank you so much again. I really appreciate it.
Juddy, you're the man. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And have a good night.
All right, bro. Good night. Thanks.